Hi everyone, I'm so excited that you're joining me to make a craft today. My name is Kim and I am the creator behind The Best Ideas for Kids. So I like to do lots of fun crafts and activities for kids. So today we are going to make this really cute paper plate pizza. And I love this craft because you can customize it and add all of your favorite pizza toppings. But before we get started, I wanted to show you guys this book, which if you haven't seen, Ollie, the Boy Who Became What He Ate by Sheena McCrae. In the book, Ollie becomes a broccoli. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to definitely put broccoli on our pizza today. So that is really exciting and I can't wait to kind of walk you guys through how to make this. So first, before we get started, I need to tell you what you have to have on hand, and hopefully you have all the supplies ready, but if not, don't worry. Ask a parent or someone, an adult nearby, if they can get anything you're missing, and we'll take it nice and slow. So don't worry if you're missing one or two things. So the first thing you need though is a paper plate. It can be any size because you could make a small pizza too. So if you have a small paper plate, that's totally fine. I have a big one here, and so I'm gonna paint and start making with this one. The second thing you need is some paint. So we need 2 colors of paint. If you look at my sample here, I have like a lighter brown for the crust of the pizza, and then I have a red in the middle, and that's our pizza sauce. So I've already put some paint out here on a little palette I have. Oh, and it's dripping, that's okay. I dripped onto the paper plate that I'm going to use. So I have a light brown and a red here. So those are the 2 colors you need. Then in order to paint, you need some paint brushes. So I have 2 paint brushes, and that's gonna be for our painting. Then for our toppings, we're using lots of different colors of paper. So I've got a light green paper here, a darker green paper. I have a lighter red, a darker red for the pepperoni. I have yellow and white for the cheese, and a very light kind of cream color. It almost looks white for my mushrooms. So if you have a pack of different colors of construction paper or different paper that you have, any paper will really do. I've got just a bunch of loose paper here with all the colors I want. Make sure you have some nice variety of paper for all your toppings that you want to add. And then for us to make the toppings, I have a pencil because I'm going to draw some of the toppings out onto the paper, and then once they're drawn out, we're going to cut it out with scissors. So I have adult scissors, but make sure that you have kid scissors. And then the final thing is we need some glue. So I'm using just a regular glue stick. It's probably the easiest with paper, but if you have white glue, that's fine too. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to paint our paper plate. So get your paint ready. We're going to start with the middle, and here we're just gonna paint all the center here with red. So while we do that, we want to do this first because then we can let it dry while we work on the other steps, which is going to be our toppings. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this whole center area here and all around. You want to leave a little bit of space on the outside for our crust, or you know what, if you want sauce all over your pizza, that's fine too. You can put sauce everywhere. I personally love lots of sauce on my pizza. So I'm making sure that I'm covering all the areas all around. I might need a little bit more on the bottom there so that we get all the spots. So that's looking pretty good. How's your sauce looking? Is it looking good? Okay, so the next thing we need now is to paint the crust. So I'm going to paint now just this part around my sauce in a lighter brown color. This is probably the messiest part of this craft, which is not too bad, right? It's not too bad, but you know what? Sometimes if I'm painting, I like to protect my surface so I don't get any paint on my surface in case I make some drops like I did before. But I really like painting because it's a lot of fun, isn't it? And I love how you can get so many different colors. You could even make a blue pizza if you wanted to, really, you could. You could make your sauce blue and your crust purple. You don't need to make it look like a real pizza. So that is done now. So now we're gonna put this just to the side and let it dry. So while that's drying, we're going to get paper to make our cheese because we have to put cheese on our pizza first before we can add all the other toppings. So I'm going to grab a yellow, and this is almost like a white, but white would be great too because I want two different colors of cheese on my pizza. But you could do just mozzarella or just cheddar cheese, so you could pick one color. So this is what I'm gonna do to make the cheese. I'm going to take the piece of paper, and because I want lots of little kind of rectangles to look like almost shredded cheese, I'm going to make a bunch of cut marks into my paper like this. And I'm gonna go all the way across, or as far as I kind of feel like going, till I feel like there's a lot there. So can you see that? See all those little marks? So cut upwards into your paper. And I'm probably gonna go all the way across the page. And they don't have to be perfect because it's gonna be mozzarella shredded cheese, which isn't perfect. So that looks good, okay? So now you should have kind of these cut marks on your paper. The other thing you could do is you could just take the paper and cut out the little pieces too. But this is kind of a faster way to do it. So now you have all these. Now take the scissors and just cut right almost to the edge of where you cut up. And all your pieces are gonna fall out like that. So now you should have kind of these fun paper cheese slices. So we'll make a couple more from the yellow. Same idea, just make some cut marks. And then cut along again. Up to make your slices. Okay. All right. So now we have some white cheese and we have some yellow cheese. Perfect. So while our paper plate is drying, we're going to continue to make the rest of our toppings. I like to put healthy veggies on my pizza, and I really love broccoli, and so does Ollie. So let's do broccoli next. And this is Superfood Day, so the fun thing about today is learning about all these fun vegetables, and broccoli is a really fun superfood. So we have to put broccoli on our pizza, right? So how we're gonna make the broccoli is, broccoli kind of looks like a tree, doesn't it? So it has almost like a tree canopy top to it, and it has a stem. So you can draw your own broccolis and then cut them out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw, I'll just show you, kind of the canopy at the top. You might not see it because my pencil's kind of light, but draw the canopy and then draw the stem. And what you can do is once you're happy with one, you can use that to trace and make more. So for me, I'm gonna cut out this one and then I might use it to trace to make a couple more. So, and you know what? If you're good at cutting, you could even just cut out your broccoli without even drawing it. There we go. There's my broccoli. I think that looks pretty good. So, if you're happy with your broccoli, then, like I said, you can just use it on top, place it on top, take your pencil, trace around it, and cut it out again. The other thing you can do is you could actually fold over your piece of paper when you're cutting it out, and then when you cut it out, you'll get more than one. So I'm gonna do that so I can get two more. I'm just gonna trace around it here quickly. And so now you guys can see my broccoli there? So now because the paper's folded over, I'm going to cut it out and I will have two once this is cut out. Two more broccolis, which will make 3 broccolis. So there we go, 2 more. So now I have 3 broccolis and we have our cheese. Okay, so the next favorite vegetable of mine is tomatoes. I love tomatoes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get a red piece of paper and I'm gonna fold it over this time so I can make more than one. So I'm gonna fold it. And now I'm gonna draw the shape of a half a tomato. So this is actually a tomato slice here. And I'm gonna draw something similar to that. So I'm gonna just kind of like a semicircle. Almost looks like a moon, half a moon. Like that. So you can draw that shape or you can just cut it out if you're good at cutting. And we'll get our tomatoes. Now if you want to add extra detail to the tomato, totally optional, but what you can do is you can then draw on a little bit of a border here with some of the seeds. So that's something you can add to your tomatoes, but I'm happy with the way these look. Now the next vegetable, what do you think we should make next? I really like peppers. So let's do peppers next. So a pepper, when you cut it, you kind of get this fun, almost ring shape. And so I'm going to make peppers that look like this. Now they have 4 bumps. So we've got like a bump, a bump, a bump, and a bump. So when we draw it, we can kind of do that similar shape. So if you show my green paper here, so we can go around and around and around and around. Similar idea to make our pepper. Now this one's a little bit trickier because we're gonna have to cut out the center. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So first, we're going to cut the bumps, the 4 bumps around. Okay, so now we have that. So that doesn't quite look like a pepper slice yet, does it? So now what we need to do is just fold it over a little bit and then we can make a cut mark in the middle. So now we have this kind of open area here. And we can put our scissors in there. And now we can cut the inside out so that we're just left with the outline of our pepper shape. Okay, like that. See? So now we have these 2 cute little pepper slices. All right. And this we can save it for scrap paper activity. So we have our pepper slices, we have our tomatoes so far, and we have our broccoli and our cheese. So we can do maybe 2 more toppings. What do you guys think? How about we make some mushrooms next? Mushrooms are another fun vegetable. So mushrooms kind of are similar to broccoli in that they have a stem, but they don't have as many kind of bumps around the top of them. They're just smooth, or that's how I made my mushroom anyway. So we can do a similar idea, draw our mushroom out, and I'm going to make it kind of round on the top with a stem, just something like that. Okay, so then we can cut that out and we'll have our mushrooms. I actually really like mushrooms on my pizza. Okay, so 2 mushrooms. And if you really like, you can also do onions. I'm not a fan of onions, but I know a lot of people love onions. So if you like onions, you can make this fun circle and follow the same instructions that we did for the pepper. So you would draw a circle and then cut out the center. So that's really fun. I like how the onion looks. And then the last thing we want to make is, of course, we need some pepperoni, right? We need some pepperoni. So pepperoni is easy to make because it's just a circle. So you can draw some circles and then cut those out. All right, so I'm gonna draw 2 because I want lots of pepperoni on my pizza. So there's 2 circles. I'm gonna quickly cut them out here. And then that'll give me 4 because I folded my paper over again. Okay, so there's 2. Then I'm gonna cut out 2 more. All right, got it. 2 more. And you know what, guys? I think we have enough toppings to start gluing onto our pizza. Now, is our pizza dry? It is pretty well dry. I can see a little shiny bits, but for the most part, you know what? That's not gonna come out. So we can start gluing onto our pizza. So do you have your glue ready? So what we're gonna do is we're going to actually add glue to all of the red part. Now, if it's still really wet, don't do this yet. So let it dry first because you'll just get paint all over your paper plate, or sorry, all over your glue stick if you don't let it dry. But mine actually is pretty dry here and it's looking good. So I just added glue all the way to center. Can you see that? So now I'm gonna start putting my cheese on, okay? And we can just glue everything on now. So let's glue our cheese. And all of that. See how that's going on? That's already looking yummy. Oh, I like cheese pizza too. So let's keep gluing that on. And you can add as much cheese or as little cheese as you want. I'm gonna not add too much because it's gonna take me too long, but you can keep going on your own and add more cheese and even cut up more strips of cheese if you want to. And then now we can glue on the rest of our items. So I'm gonna add the pepperoni here. I'm gonna add my broccoli. And what other vegetables did we make? We made tomatoes. So I'm gonna glue that on. We made broccoli. I'm gonna add that. See it coming together? Isn't that looking so cool? And who are you gonna serve this pizza to? Maybe you have a brother or a sister that will want to have some fun pretending to eat your new pizza. Okay, now we'll add the peppers. I'm gonna keep adding all of my ingredients here, and I hope you guys do too, but that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? So much fun and so easy to make. Thanks for being part of the Superfood Day with me, Superpower Food Day with me, and I really hope you had fun making this fun paper plate pizza.